has legs.
And this is another reason why I'm bullish on it. These billionaires are still calling on the pumps.
I think the 200 to 250,000 for Bitcoin still makes sense because that would still only value it at
250,000 for Bitcoin is a lot of money. And potentially we're going to be seeing XRP blowing to $15, $20, $25, $30 if this happens with all these major partnerships. Also, be sure to smash that like button as we delve deeper on what exactly makes XRP grow so much, what makes it explode in that sense, and why I feel like it will explode even more.
25% of the size of the gold market. So I think digital gold means Bitcoin should be worth over $1 million per Bitcoin. And
so yeah, it literally tries to overtake gold, and XRP is going to be like the financing system helper.
It could happen in the next few years, but maybe pricing 25% of that, especially with Genius Act, makes sense. I mean, in a sense, stable coins are the ChatGPT moment for crypto because businesses like it and consumers are adopting it. And now we see JP Morgan and Citi and getting into the stablecoin market, and the Genius Act, of course.
How would you play that?
Well, Circle is one way because it is a standout company. They've done really well. But Ethereum...
So yeah, a lot of companies are joining in. Again, seems like that now more banks are joining the top 5 cryptos. And what is that? Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. XRP being on a third spot right behind USDT, which has been getting regulated more and more. So in the future, XRP now has enough data and enough partnerships to really see it grow.
Ethereum is really the way to play stablecoins because the majority of stablecoins are created on Ethereum. It's over 30% of its network fee.
So yeah, this is where I think Ethereum wins because it does have more partnerships. And most of these stablecoins, again, are the future. They're being used by the banks.
And if Scott Bessent's right in it, he says now it's close to a $4 trillion market. That's exponential growth.
As investors prepare for a bullish July and August, Raoul Pal and Tom Lee affirm that Bitcoin and crypto prices are about to go parabolic, as we continue to see more all-time highs. As this momentum is building, the institutions are quietly positioning themselves. Pal and Lee say everything is about to change. Bitcoin is sitting just above 117,300, up over 14% in the past month. With the next bull market, and with crypto and technology being the biggest investments this year, Raoul Pal and Tom Lee remain bullish on digital assets and give a portfolio update, identifying the crypto assets poised for substantial growth in the coming months. With major pension funds and institutional investors on board for the coming cycle, Raoul Pal predicts that crypto is on track to be a $10 trillion digital asset class. Pal says that this cycle will separate itself from its predecessors, as devalued fiat currencies will push more adoption into the crypto market and bring in more capital than we've ever seen before. Let's get right into the interview with Raoul Pal and Tom Lee, as they give their market predictions for the days and weeks ahead. Drop your
So yeah, it seems like Ethereum is going to cover a sector, and then XRP is going to cover its own sector as well. So it's not like it needs to push out XRP to win, right?
One is
it can work on its own.
Technology, and the other is crypto. My whole big thesis has been the only way to capture returns in this world of indebted economies with aging populations is to find the assets that are in a secular trend. And there's actually not that many. In fact, the ones that are really in a secular trend, part of what I refer to as the exponential age. So this is something that is going to be the fastest pace of change of technology and probably the fabric of society and how economies are structured in all of humanity in the shortest period of time. The exponential age is that moment when multiple technologies that were all enabled essentially by the internet all layer on top of each other and go to mass adoption phase all at the same time. Crypto was the first of these technologies. If you also think that mobile phone was the other technology that built on top of the internet and fiber optic cables,
So yeah, basically XRP is going to be the new technology which speeds up. What is the most important factor that is the most expensive thing you can sell? Your time, right? And when you send these transfers, it takes you time to send transactions. And XRP is trying to basically work that up and make these transactions zero cost, fast fast based. So you won't have any issues sending your money to relatives.
Led to the rise of crypto.
That's the thing. You want to send, $10,000, you can do it instantly without issues. You want to send salaries, you can do that. Everything is going to be digitalized. And you want to, there's still companies that pay cash on hand, and it can potentially make a lot of human error. Basically, being on the blockchain is a lot of contracts. You can see who you paid, what you paid, when you paid, and governments love to track that stuff, but also businesses, because they can see if there's any error made by the accounting team. XRP will not be that. As long as you put a number, it's going to come there every single month.
All of these things are going to experience Metcalfe's law.
That's why banks are pushing for stablecoins.
Roughly at the same time. Some will be later, like quantum. I didn't know what was going to come first. EV is another one. And when you put Metcalfe's laws that are all intermingled with each other, because they all build on top of each other, you get something called Reed's law. Reed's law is essentially Metcalfe's law squared. If Metcalfe's law you need a logarithmic chart for, Reed's law is preposterous because it makes weeks. And by the time Microsoft roll it out across all of their Office suite of products, etc., it'll be 1 billion users kind of by Q1 next year. It's an extraordinary change. And then the technology itself is exponential in its improvements. And so within that, we're also seeing robotics starting to go exponential. We're seeing Amazon.
AI is the next big thing, but again, there's so much more than AI right now. AI is just a tool. With that being said, it seems like the new technology is basically something that can be automated, which is exactly what XRP does, right?
Hiring more robots as productive economic units than they are hiring humans now. We're seeing all across the world changes. We're seeing EV cars outselling traditional cars. We're seeing a huge amount of capital pouring into changing sources of energy. So we're in this extraordinary period of change. It's the most exciting period in human history. We're kind of lucky to be alive, but it's also terrifying.
Raul says it's the fastest pace of adoption of any investable asset in all of human history. By the end of 2025, there will be 1.1 billion active crypto wallets. The pace of growth is hard to comprehend, and it will be the fastest accumulation of wealth we have ever seen. This is the conclusion of a career's worth of research. And every single chart and piece of research leads to the same conclusion. Liquidity drives everything, and crypto will be the best performing asset of them all. Raul has been stressing to investors for months that all the factors are beginning to align right now, a period characterized by parabolic moves upwards in crypto prices.
And what makes it more exciting is we are in both macro spring and crypto spring.
This is what he's saying right now, crypto spring. So right now there's lots of money on the market. With lots of money on the market, where do you put this money? Into crypto, which is booming, right? It's a win-win. You get lots of money because we are seeing a macro spring, everything rising, and you want to see an extra boom. You're getting more and more money. You don't know where to put it. You put it into crypto. You put it into stocks. And that's exactly what's made XRP pump so much.
Get final week GDP numbers into this quarter and next quarter. But the forward-looking stuff says we're going to come through the other side sooner rather than later. While inflation, etc., still keeps declining and unemployment probably ticks up. But crypto markets are forward-looking, much like technology stocks are, because these are secular trends and they're long-term growth stories. And those markets bottomed with global liquidity back in last year. ETH was first in June 2022, followed by much of the rest of the larger crypto tokens, although some are still relatively weak today. That period from then on is what's referred to as crypto spring. It's kind of a choppy period, but you tend to get decent price rises when you look back and think, God, that was a painful.
So yeah, nobody can even compete to 300% rises at this point.
Yeah, but then you look back and you're like, wow, okay. And we see that Bitcoin's up over 100%.
Literally, XRP outperformed Bitcoin, right?
In crypto spring, Solana's up 220%, ETH's up about 50%. So it's been pretty positive. And the forward-looking indicators of liquidity, which is the key driver of all of this, are all pointing up. That as the Fed back off rate rises, the ECB back off rate rises, the next phase we're starting to see Japan, China China has started stimulating again. We will likely see the Japanese do something in terms of yield curve control or weakening the yen. Europeans have made it pretty clear that they've stopped raising rates now. The Bank of England have stopped raising rates, and I think the Fed have stopped raising rates. So the probabilistic outcome is by next year, the rates start coming down again as inflation starts coming down and the forward-looking inflation indicators are coming down. So what you've got is a backdrop for crypto to do really well, which coincides with the Bitcoin halving, which coincides with the macro cycle, the everything code, where everybody reset interest rates in 2008 at 0%. They kind of meant that nobody had to pay their interest payments. And then what we've had, everybody reset their debts between 3 and 5 years, every major government, and that rolling of debts every 4 years coincides with the Bitcoin halving, is the global economic cycle. It corresponds with the ISM, it corresponds with crypto price action, corresponds with equity price action, all of these things. It's also the same as the election cycle. They're all one big cycle now, and we're at the point in the cycle where assets tend to do really well. So I'm very excited on a forward-looking basis, and I have been excited and been very long crypto all year, and tech. Tech's had an amazing year. Our exponential age basket from Global Macro Investors up 50% this year as well. So technology's had a really stunningly good year. I still think it ends the rest of the year stronger, that this has just been a corrective, cheeky 10% correction, shake out the weak holders as we move forward as liquidity rises. So I'm looking forward to a real exponential age 2 years ahead, 2024, 2025, where we see both technology stocks and we see crypto really doing well. And crypto is usually the fastest horse in the race.
So yeah, nothing gives as good returns as crypto right now. It's literally crypto being the number one. And again, people are expecting this next rally of new money to come in. And as more and more crypto rises, you basically get more people in. It's like a spiral, right? So crypto markets rise. People come back to crypto because they see crypto markets go up, like XRP. People have already downloaded exchange apps and started adding more of them. So what we are seeing right now is crypto getting stronger and stronger, and it's going to generate this cycle of where it slowly pushes XRP to hopefully $5, right?
This view, pointing to a dip then rip pattern, where sharp pullbacks are typically followed by massive rallies, up to 190% gains historically. Both argue that patience, not panic, is key. The banana zone is alive, just misunderstood. As the momentum in the crypto market is building and institutions are positioning themselves, Raoul Pal says everything is about to change. He says the next phase of the crypto cycle is critical, and he's stacking big bets in his portfolio right now. With the next bull market, and with crypto and technology being the biggest investments this year, Raoul Pal says that he's remaining bullish on digital assets after significant...
Again, if the banks are going big on crypto right now, like stable coins, and they're going big on everything possibly they can regarding crypto, and they're preparing, and literally Bank of America doing 83 Ripple patents, which cost multi-millions of dollars, they are prepared for the technology that comes with it. Just imagine in the last 4 years how much the technology has risen. Probably basically years and years, light years ahead than it was 4 years ago, right? And now the government is finally getting ready to say what XRP is. Is it a security or not? This is where it really gives that full boost.
Bitcoin is one that is headed for an unprecedented price milestone, and Raoul foresees a financial tidal wave that will catapult cryptocurrency to new highs. Raoul Pal says the crypto world is on the brink of something massive, a seismic shift for Bitcoin and crypto in what he calls the banana zone. As the momentum is building and the institutions are quietly positioning themselves, Raoul says everything is about to change. He recently shared his take on the current economic uncertainty, with tariffs and recession fears creating market volatility, that a major market rally is on the horizon. And that's where Bitcoin comes in. Bitcoin has been trading more like a risk asset lately, meaning if the market recovers, Bitcoin is expected to surge alongside it. But the uncertainty is key here. If the market remains stuck in limbo, Bitcoin could face short-term pressure.
But literally, the markets are not stuck in limbo. We're seeing either the markets go insanely up or we're seeing them go insanely down. So this is the concern that people have, with crypto right now, is that it's not going to move. But the markets have been moving so strong, so fast, that we have never seen this type of volume before for, XRP, for Bitcoin. We've never seen people talk about so much about XRP. And this is the power of community, is literally people are forming communities around the world to talk about it before the technology is even announced. So yeah, there is a very good chance that right now, crypto is just getting started. Again, you already have people talking about it without the retail investors even being fully in. And we are getting like 3 million, 5 million different people when only 0.02% of people own XRP. So there's a major, major potential of people joining in. Again, I feel like it's a very under-tapped niche. Yes, it was much easier to get in 2016, 2021. In crypto, it was 10 times easier, right? But still now, to this day, people who stuck with crypto, they are still getting rewarded, right? So it literally rewards patience. That is what I love about cryptocurrency. People are rewarded with patience if they wait a long time to basically win in that sector. So people who wait 5 years, 3 years, 4 years, who don't sell, again, I'm not telling you not to sell, but it definitely seems like that crypto right now, the people who were here 2021 and then are gone after 1 year when the money stops pouring in, and the people who kept, DCAing, buying, this was in the past, 2023, 2022. They kept buying when everybody left already. They kept talking about XRP when nobody was. So it is definitely something like first time in history. And it seems like everybody who held through 1 cent, 5 cents, 10 cents XRP are now getting rewarded for it by becoming multimillionaires or whatever they are. Depends how much